This is Dr. Bills inside the HBCU Sports Lab. We have none other than Charles Bishop, King of the Hill, Mo Carter, Fox 54 Sports, bringing us. I want to see what they think of my whole ranking, the marching sport, the bands, HBCU Sports. We're going to see what they think about the major divisions. Huge matchup this past weekend. One was a football contest. The other one was a marching band contest. You put it all together, boy, you get some good gumbo soup, since it was in the bayou down there in terms of Baton Rouge. With that being said, nobody dropped out of the poll, so relax. These 7 teams are still in it. These bands are still getting what taken care of. A couple of things failed for non-participation. There was a head-to-head matchup of the top 3. That was pretty big. But nobody dropped out this week. These are the teams that are receiving votes. North Carolina A&T State, the blue and gold marching machine. They're 1-0. While they lost the football game, they won the band matchup. FAMU is still 1-1, 0-1 in the conference race, the marching 100. They're in the mix. Alabama State, the marching Hornets, they fought back. They got a victory over Miles. It was a close, tough one. They took a major upset on the field, and it looked like they were almost going to take 2, but they pulled it out. At home, they got the mighty marching Hornets, got it done in terms of the band battle. With that being said, let's get into the top 7. At number 7 this week, Mississippi Valley State, the mean green marching machine, jumped out in front, jumped into the poll, got 2 early victories. They were previous ranked 5, but did not have a matchup this week as the football team was off. They were off, didn't do a battle. So they dropped to number 7. They are still 2-0, holding tight at 136 points. Bringing us to number 6. 6 this week, Tennessee State, the Aristocrat Bands, 2-0. Southern Heritage Classic, they got it done. Narrow victory. A lot of folks like what Pablo did up there. 2-0, 151 points. They move up a spot. They hold it on. I don't know how much of that national award still is ringing tight for a lot of folks. Maybe they're edging them out a little bit. But we'll see if they can make a dent. They only have 2 more opportunities. We'll see if the Norfolk State band comes down for homecoming, or they might scratch that one out. At number 5, Bethune-Cookman, the marching Wildcats. They took on Savannah State, a team that was in the top 7 of the mid-major. They came down there, rocked the house. Bethune-Cookman gets an early bump. Now, Bethune-Cookman, you got a program that came to you. I know the Division II, mid-major program. It's time for you to hit the road if you want to stay in the top 7 with some love. One of the best bands out there that many have not seen in terms of matchups. 156 points, but they slide up a spot this week. At number 4, Texas Southern, the Ocean of Soul, 2-0. They jumped out on everybody with 2 early matchups. Did not perform this weekend. 1-0 overall, 158 points, sitting on the sideline, but they stay at number 4. Bringing us to number 3, this is where some things change. Jackson State, the Sonic Boom of the South, they went down, and it wasn't good. Let me just say it like that. While the football team has made it 4 in a row, getting it done. 2 straight in Baton Rouge. Last time they came down there to Baton Rouge, they got mixed up in the wash then. They went home and did home court. As we say in basketball, held court. They held court. Well, guess what? The human jukebox decided they were going to return the favor. Then they mixed it in the mix with all that gumbo as they fed it to Sonic Boom of the South. Sonic Boom of the South falls 2-1. They're still 1-0 in the conference race. That was not a conference matchup in terms of what that looks like overall. We might change that. Since it's head-to-head, we don't have a lot of heads-to-head. We might make it a conference anyway. We can do that. This is the marching sport. 189 points, previous rank 1. So at number 2, Southern, the human jukebox. They take down number 1, but they can't quite get to number 1. 2-0. 1 first place vote. 187 points. Actually, 4 first place votes, I should say. So they picked up some votes. Previous rank 398. Guess who is number one? Man, I know I'm going to hear it all from the bad hands, but they're 3-0. They've gotten out there. They've handled the business. They had several contests, and they've been undefeated. It took over Hampton. Some people say that was not a fair fight. Hey, it was an HBCU matchup. That's not my fault. Right. The Spartan Legions, though, they showed up and showed out. They're 3-0, 6 first-place votes. Number one for the first time ever in the poll rankings. Norfolk State, the Spartan Legion, moves to the top of the rankings in week number 2. They said, get out of here with all that swag talk. The MEAC has something to say. Previously number 2, they are number 1 in week number 2. Can they stay there? Do they have enough matchups? Ooh, can you imagine if they take the trip to Nashville to Tennessee State? That would be highly likely a top 7 matchup. Woo, that would be interesting. But we'll see. We will see how long they can hold on to number 1. Charles, you're biting and chomping up the bits. What are your thoughts in terms of week number 2? There's some changes out there. It's hot.
You know, Doc, I'm going to let the court of public opinion. I'm going to let the door open and let the Jackson State folks come at you on this one, because I tell you what, Jackson State fans,
how you going to let them come at me, man? I thought you were here to
they should be rightly proud of that. They should be rightly proud of their performance. 0 quarter and 5th quarter. In fact, 5th quarter, you know how normally the band's got to sit in the corner over there at A.W. Mumford. They moved the crowd out the way and got right in front of the human jukebox and went head to head. It was one of the better 5th quarters that I've seen in a long, long time. And I have to say, the Boom, I think you're wrong on this one. I thought the Boom got him. And you know how I feel about the jukebox. You know how I love jukebox. And I have to say, the Boom got him this time. I think they nipped him this time.
I give you credit. They won the 5th quarter. But what did they do during the game to support the team to get the momentum? That wasn't a lot of chance to do.
That's an excellent point. That's an excellent point.
Jackson State gave them every opportunity to support their teams.
Right.
In regards to what was going on there. Remember, part of the rules is not just about the matchup. There's a win and loss. But we also talk about your intro. Both of these fans have incredible intro into the state. Right? You can go either way. I wouldn't even argue that matchup. Halftime shows are going to be there. Sound is going to be there. So a lot of this is just personal in terms of how you feel. But one, you can watch and you can count. You can watch to see if a team is engaging the band, is engaging the fans in terms of football doing their thing.
That is big.
Some didn't have a lot of opportunity to do that. And when they did, they pushed that team and pushed them to at least do a little better than what they were doing. Because I'm not sure. It looked like they were going to get shut out. In a lot of ways, they pushed forward. So I just want people to remember that. With that being said, I'm going to you, Mo. Mo, what do you think?
Well, I mean, clearly I'm looking at the and after I've looked at them through the last couple of weeks or whatever, you know, I definitely like them. My question is, how much did the light show help out Southern to propel over Jackson in this victory?
Oh, it was everything.
That was unique. That was very unique.
Not A.W. Mumford now.
For lights in the stadium, that's unheard of for HBCU. You connect it and bring it to people's power when the band comes on there. Man, that's next level. That's Super Bowl-ish. That's power.
I like that.
Championship.
I like that. Yeah.
So, Mo, I'm glad you asked the question because Charles is falling asleep over here. They won all that money the last 2 years. Man, they won so much money. I talked to Ashley. Ashley got so much money. Bro, it's just falling out of his pocket. I can just walk behind Ashley. I'm talking about Ashley Robinson. You know what I'm talking about. Ashley Robinson got so much money up there. Now, I know the school, the institution has not been supported. 40%, he got to go raise the rest. But they won, so they raised a lot. So unless the school was taking it back and not letting them spend some money, come on now. Oh, I'm not supposed to tell all that. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just keeping it real today. Y'all want to know. Y'all want to get in this up to date.
They gotta put something into the stadium.
I gave AD. Ashley was the number 1 ranked AD. So I'm just saying.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But yeah, I heard about the preview. I heard about a preview of the lights, and then Garrett Edgerson, who's a classmate of mine from Southern, who does all the video for the Human Jukebox, he kind of put a little snippet in the inbox, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be cool, to check out. So when I went back and watched Sunday, I was like, whoa. I had no idea this is what y'all really were really doing down there. And of course, the fact that the light show was in essence with everything else going on, whether it's, turn some things down to lighten up the crowd or, hype it up or what. I don't even think that all the fans even realized what was going on and what was going down. I mean, we just saw like University of Alabama just incorporate their LED lights like 2-3 years ago, and now you've seen the HBCU do it. So
Texas Southern does the fireworks.
They do the fireworks. For me, fan engagement is everything with regards to bands. So when you engage the fan base, you got me there.
All right, now y'all coming full circle. I like this. This is getting a little better in discussion. Let the lab listeners have their part. I understand. They're fans, fanatics for sure. But I just want them to make sure they understand. First of all, it's got to be matchups. Second of all, you have to have total matches, engagement. Coming into the stadium, your halftime show, your fifth quarter, how you support your team during the game in terms of big plays. How do you make sure the fans are getting engaged? That's all a part of it. So with that being said, great comments, Mo Carter, Charles Bishop. Anything else you want to add, Mo?
As far as the band stuff, I mean, clearly, just remember, It's still early. It is still early, and there's a lot of season left.
That is true. It is really early.
And look,
Charles?
Dr. Cavil, you made me Google too. You made me Google. I did not realize that Norfolk State, still has A&T, still has a trip to Tennessee State, and then also, will play their conference schedule. So let's see how long they can hold on, to that number one spot with some very intriguing matchups coming up.
Now, the Spartan Legion, they got to get on the road.
Question of the day, Charles.
The Spartan Legion got to get on the road. They got to get on the road for some matchups. That's going to be huge. A&T, they should be a short one, I think, to Morgan State, and then you got to make the trip to Nashville. You got to get some matchups in under your belt.
Oh, you got to get the matchups. You see what happened to Valley?
Yeah.
Yep.
Great point.
They fall from 5 to 7, no matchups. Not their fault, but you got to get in the matchups.